Battle of the Little Bighorn, also called Custer's Last Stand, marked the most decisive Native American victory and a worst U.S. Army defeat in the Long Plains Indian War. Historians often cite Custer's hubris and arrogance in not waiting for reinforcements for the defeat. I call this to mind because there are many actions that some folks take when they're feeling that they are above the law or feeling where they're arrogant and they're unreachable. A lesson should be learned from Custer's Last Stand that when you act in arrogance, things don't often turn out the way you plan. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fire evacuation announcement. In case we have to evacuate this chamber, there are two exits, one in front of me to your rear. Go down the stairs and out the double doors out onto the lawn. The other exit is to my left, your right. Go through the double doors, take an immediate left, go down through the doors, down the stairs, and out into the parking lot. Kathy, roll call, please.
Mr. Serrard?
Here.
Ms. Hall?
Here.
Mrs. Rancourt?
Here.
Mr. Janitis?
Here.
Mrs. LeBlanc? Mr. Feely? Mr. Grady?
Here.
Mrs. Suzak?
Here.
Chairman Neville?
Here. Moving on to item 6, I believe we have some guests here, and I'd like to call them up here, Trish Romey and Dick Smith. I've known both of these two people for a lot of years, and they've done a wonderful job for the town of Enfield. Trish was nominated by a student, I believe, for Bus Driver of the Year, and I think it was part of the Channel 3 program, and she's one of 4 in the state, I believe, that received that honor. And we wish you congratulations. Knowing you and all the years I've known you as a bus driver, I know how much you care about our kids, and you more than deserve this honor. And we just want to wish you congratulations. Dick, I've known you for decades, and you've just been the best in terms of dealing with us. Into any problem that we've had, you've just been super, and I think these folks would echo that, and so would the board. We're very, very lucky to have people of your caliber here taking care of our kids. So we'd like to come up and just present you a little gift, a token of our appreciation.
Can I get
I don't know whether Dr. Schumer's going to try to get a picture or not. Somehow I knew
Just
that.
needs a hint.
He was slow on the draw there.
Schumann or Schumer?
Turn towards the camera here, okay?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Get it? Oh, go ahead. Congratulations. Thank you. Put that on your desk.
Keep up the good work. Oh, sorry.
You do very good work.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You got me to go the first time.
Thank you.
It's always nice in our jobs to be able to recognize good people like this. So we appreciate the opportunity, and we thank you for everything you've done for us. Keep up the good work, please. Item 7, Superintendent's reports. Dr. Schuman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are a couple items for your consideration and information. The first is the summer meetings and special meetings over the summer. The board is scheduled to meet on Tuesday, July 9th, and then we'll take a recess on regular meetings until Tuesday, August 27th. There should be a need, though, to hold a special meeting at some point during the summer. We're looking at the week of July 23rd 24th or 25th. 23rd is the Tuesday night, which is the normal board meeting night. There will be a couple things that we'll need to go over. One will be, we hope to have candidates for the board to interview for the STEAM and Humanities Coordinator at that point. We have a tentative process that should get us there by then. And also, at some point, the board and the council have the opportunity to hold a joint meeting to talk about the collective bargaining and the town council's appointment of a representative to that process, should they decide they want to do that. So we're looking at somewhere around the 23rd, which would be your Tuesday night meeting, or the 24th or 25th, whatever works better for the board and the board members, and we can survey the board and find out what's best then. The first day of school is scheduled for Tuesday, September 3rd, and shortly down the line here on the agenda, we're going to talk about some of the calendar revisions that will be in place because of the full-day kindergarten. There's a grants report for you to look at and a personnel report in your packets. And I have something to add. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of traveling with a group of 6 students and 6 teacher mentors and the principal of JFK Middle School to the National Association of Middle School Principals Annual Conference in Atlantic City. And it was a long trip down, and it was a long trip back, but the time in between was fantastic. We get home at 1 o'clock this morning, and so we certainly can congratulate the students for giving us their last day, but also for the teachers, because, that was their last day of school, and instead of leaving at early in the afternoon as they could have, 6 of them were on the bus with us until 1 o'clock this morning, still doing their jobs as teachers and mentoring their students. But the conference was great. The National Association of Middle School Principals is a group of 3,200 individuals across the nation, representing from 37 states. And they had their annual conference this year on the East Coast at Atlantic City, and the JFK Middle School received 2 awards. One was for the work we did with the Leaders for the Future program, and that's why our students went. They went and they gave their presentation about that program to a group of principals, and they also received the 2013 Outstanding Student Leadership Award. And so I wanted to pass this around, and I'll let the board members see it, and after you get a good look at it, we'll make sure it gets hung in a good place in the JFK Middle School. And JFK was also in the running and a candidate for the National Middle School of the Year Award. And while they did not come in first place, they were the second runner-up, which means they were in third place. But it's still a nice recognition for the school, and they received this crystal monument for that. And so overall, it was a really nice day. We did 5.5 hours down. We spent about 5 hours there giving a presentation, going to the awards ceremony. Our kids conducted themselves fantastically. You would have been proud of the way they presented their information, the way they held their own, the way they answered questions, the way they stood up and really impressed the group of principals who were querying them and asking about their program. And then we put them back on the bus. We left around 8:30 last night, and we got home just after 1 this morning. So it was a great day, a long day, and a very successful day for John F. Kennedy Middle School yesterday.
Very good. Moving on to...
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, Peter.
Do you have is it okay to name the names of the students and teachers?
It is, but I don't have them all right in front of me right now.
If you could get those out to the board?
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you. At this point, we're on item 8, audiences. Is there anybody that would like to speak to the board? If so, please sign the sheet, your name and address. Is there anybody here? Okay, then we'll move on to unfinished business, which is approve the fiscal year 2013-14 school calendar revisions, as was, I think it was in your packet, the revised ones. I don't know whether you folks want to go over that?
Sure. Yes, when we last left our discussion on this, we were talking about the vacation day, which is scheduled, well, was not scheduled for December the 23rd, realizing that the students and faculty would come back for a Monday and then be on an extended vacation. The board had a desire to look for ways to make that a vacation day without interfering with the firm graduation dates on the 185th and 186th day, which are now the 19th and 20th of June, which are a Thursday and Friday. And the board did not or want to move those to a Friday and a Monday if at all possible. We do have a solution. We think it will work. May 23rd was supposed to be a full-day professional development day, which would have been a non-school day for students. We've now made that a school day. Therefore, by making that a school day, we can make December 23rd, ironically the same day of the month, we can make December 23rd a vacation day. We can then take the professional development day and move it to February the 18th. February the 18th was going to be a vacation day for everyone. No one was coming in. Now the students will still have the vacation day, but the faculty will have a 3-day weekend, and on the 4th day of that weekend, they will have a professional development day. We think that's a nice solution. We think that the faculty would support that in theory anyway, because what they're basically doing is trading a 4-day weekend for a very extended Christmas break. And we think in the long run that would be a good trade-off. And we feel comfortable making that recommendation to you, knowing that it won't change the firm graduation dates and it still accomplishes everything else we want to try to do.
I would entertain a motion, and then we can ask Dr. Schumann some questions if people have them.
Motion to accept the new calendar as revised?
Second.
Moved by Donna, seconded by, does anybody have any questions for Dr. Schumann? Sensing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Serard?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mrs. Rancourt?
Yes.
Mr. Genitis?
Yes.
Mr. Grady?
Yes.
Mrs. Suzak?
Yes.
Chairman Neville?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I appreciate the work you guys did on that. You found a good solution.
Very good solution.
And so we appreciate it. Moving on to item 10, new business. 10A, approve the fiscal year 2013-14 student representatives and alternates. And my recollection was, the last time we discussed this, you were going back to the principals and to get some recommendations there. So I'm
Yes.
assuming you have that data for us.
I do. Just one more thing on the calendar. At his first cabinet meeting, our Tuesday morning cabinet meeting, Mr. Koch, our new chief personnel officer, we were looking at this to try to solve the problem, and within 5 minutes, he found that solution. So I have to give him credit for that. That was one of the first things he did as a cabinet. I walked in, I put the calendar down, so we have to solve this problem, and he had it solved in 5 minutes. So I think we've made a good choice. At least he's off to a good start. Regarding the representatives and alternates, yes, we do have a need to fill one spot because we have someone leaving as a senior from Enfield High. So we have two new folks from Enfield High, and we have decided, and the principals are supportive of the idea of the schools alternating juniors and seniors, so that there's always a returning group of folks who have some experience with the board and new people coming on. So this year, as Katie and our new representative Daniel become seniors, we have two junior representatives, Christine and Shelby, from Enfield High. And I believe that everyone is here except for Katie, is that correct? Okay, so if you'd like to meet them, they will come up and they can tell you, introduce themselves.
Why don't you come on up to the table, folks, so we get to know a little bit about you. Is that microphone on?
All they need to do is press the button.
Okay.
I don't know, it looks like her.
Okay.
Come on up.
Push the button.
We're not that scary. You're
Press
going to be on
the
this
button
side
and
of
you
the
can
dais
speak.
the next time.
You introduce yourself and
Oh,
and
you
tell
can
them
push
about
it. The
what
light
you're
will
looking
come
forward to.
Hey, I'm Christine. I'm the representative from Enfield High. Hi, I'm Shelby Brennan, and I'm the alternate from Enfield High. Hi.
Hello, I'm Daniel Salisbury. I'm the alternate for Fermi.
Okay.
Okay.
If the board has any questions of our
Anybody have
new
any
student
questions for these
representatives? Okay. Well, your seats.
Well, we're looking forward to having you. We all understand that this takes time. We're going to rely upon you to, if you have to get back to study, you can just get up and leave at that point. If you get some things or you have a game or something like that, we understand that. We're also going to try, which I haven't done well this year, having you have an opportunity to speak before the rest of us, so that it's earlier on in the meeting than when we have our board comments. So if you have any questions, you can ask any of us, or email us, or email me, or call me. We greatly appreciate having you here and taking the time with us. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Welcome to Board of Education. Huh? Yes. No, do it as a group.
Motion that we accept the recommendation of the principals for Enfield High School and Enrico Fermi High School representatives to the Enfield Board of Education.
Second.
Seconded by Joyce, made by Tom. Any discussion? All those in favor by a show of hands? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous. Welcome aboard.
Are they buying coffee?
No, they're not buying you coffee. They're not buying you coffee. Okay.
Do that to superintendent.
Yeah. We have items 10B and C, which the note on the side of our agenda talks about postponing until.
Tim, before you go on this whole thing with the student reps, should we be looking down the future, should we? I think we should be looking down the future to when we have one high school.
That's why we have a junior and a senior, Peter.
Okay. The senior being the rep,
No, what,
the junior being the alternate?
that's why we embrace the having a junior and a senior alternating between Fermi and Enfield High, such that when we have one high school, we will have a junior and a senior from that high school.
Because they'll merge.
Yes, I realize that, yeah. Okay.
You look puzzled.
That's okay, Peter.
So what you're going to have is 2 reps when we have one high school?
Yes.
A
Okay.
junior and a
A
senior.
junior and a senior. So, okay. In our note on the side of our agenda, we talk about moving 10B and C out of this item and moving it to after item 16C, because those will be issues we'll be dealing with in
Need a motion?
executive session. So I need a motion to that effect.
Motion to move items 10B and C until after item 16C.
Second.
Made by Vinnie, seconded by Tom. Any discussion? All those in favor by a show of hands? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous. Okay, going to item 11, board committee reports. Are there any board committees to be reported on tonight? Sensing, yes or no? Well,
Yeah, we meet tomorrow.
So you'll have to wait till July to report on that. Okay, and okay, that's fine. So there will be no board committee reports. Moving down the road here to item 12, board member comments. Peter, do you want to bat lead off? Vinnie?
Sure. I just want to congratulate both Fermi and Enfield High for their graduation ceremonies. It was a very nice ceremony on both occasions. I kind of want to wish my daughter, Laura, congratulations on her graduation and her future endeavors at Johnson & Wales. Congratulations, Laura.
Very good. Donna?
I guess like Vinny, it's probably the most energetic times you have when you're on the Board of Education is when you watch the graduates. I mean, that, I think, is what makes it all worthwhile. And it was kind of a little different twist, shaking hands with everybody, but I found it quite informative and quite entertaining, and to see the exuberance on their face. And I'd like to thank everyone who's trusted us with their children and their education, and hopefully they'll go on to have a great future.
Very good. Tom?
Again, congratulations to all of our graduates. I thought both high schools did a wonderful job on the graduation ceremony. It was actually very fun to be there, and very rewarding to be there when you actually see the products of your hard work and all of your sacrifice. But more importantly, all of the hard work and sacrifice of the students who actually achieved the role of graduation. And I was very impressed by the number of honors that I saw walking through our crowds of graduates as they threw their helmets into the air and moved on to their lives. So congratulations to everyone, and you guys really did a great job.
Joyce?
I attended the demonstration or exhibition, I don't know how you, for TAG at JFK, and queried almost every one of those who were exhibiting. And as we had seen at our previous board meeting, when the young man Matthew was so articulate and well-spoken, every one of the TAG students fit that category as well. And there were some really interesting displays. I learned about cryptozoology, something I was not aware of, although I guess I know a little bit about it because I've heard of the Loch Ness Monster, but, and there were artists and sports people and dancers and nuclear physicist potential. The young man who wrote the book, which we had heard about at our previous meeting on nuclear physics, for the teenager, or the adolescent is what his title said, did an excellent job of providing that information in such a manner that it would be very acceptable to a young teenager. And I was very impressed, not just with the book, but with his responses to all of my questions. And frequently taking the position of the devil's advocate, each of those students addressed all of my questions very well. Thank you.
Jen?
First, I want to say that I've been in Eli Whitney because my kids go there, and they had a wonderful awards assembly on Friday morning, and Mrs. Dipple was in a dress, so that was like a miracle and a half. We never saw that. We all took pictures. She had pearls and a dress on. She looked beautiful. And they did an absolutely wonderful job. So many students got the President's Award. They had Rachel Challenge Awards, academic achievement. It was outside. It was absolutely beautiful, and they did Mrs. Ingalls' whole faculty and staff did an absolutely fabulous job. The other thing I want to remind parents of younger children is the library will have its summer reading program. And I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something about like digging or something like that. It's and all the lists will be are on the governor's website for the books that you can read for every grade. And then last is graduation was absolutely wonderful. It was one of the best days of my whole entire life. And to give all those kids the diplomas that I did was just phenomenal. And giving my son, it was the highlight of my life. And I want to congratulate Jill on graduating her first class, too. I had never been to an Enfield High graduation living in this town, and that was phenomenal. So she did a fabulous job.
Wonderful. Peter?
Okay, I'd like to offer congratulations to all the kids that graduated, and in particular their parents. Congratulations to the teachers for a trying year of change and getting through it, and hopefully enjoying the summer. I'd also like to congratulate the Board of Education and the Town Council for a lot of work that was put in getting the budget through, even though everybody didn't always agree on everything. The work and the effort was there, and it's not too often I say thank you to these two groups.
Thank you, Peter. Just a couple of things here. Likewise, I thought the graduations was superb, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. The weather was very, very good, and there was just something special about watching those kids come down the hill at Enfield High School and marching down the lawn down there at Fermi. It was just spectacular. So my congratulations to the kids. I thought they dealt with the situation in a very, very formal and wonderful way. They certainly are a credit to their teachers and to their parents. Secondly, all of us received an email from a parent regarding winter buses, and I just wanted you guys, I forwarded to Dr. Schuman and Mr. Drezek to take a look at it. Just as an aside, I think Peter will remember this, because the sidewalk at JFK was literally on the road at one point, about 2 years ago, I think it was, it may be 3, that they redid the sidewalk, and that was supposed to eliminate that bus. So I was a little surprised when she said it was still in operation. So that's just a little history. But if you folks could respond to her and just dig into a little bit and get back to the mom, I would greatly appreciate it.
I forwarded also to Matt Koppler.
Okay.
I sent one to Matt Koppler because they do have a person who goes around inspecting sidewalks. And if they do need to be
That's-
inspected, that's,
Nothing like thinking of winter and 90-degree heat.
Oh, it made me feel so much better to think of 0 degrees.
Joyce, I went to one of those quarterly things and it was 95 and everybody complained about the snow.
Secondly, I got a note from Senator Kissel, and he had put forth a piece of legislation about that was actually voted into law, that under the new law, a local or regional board of education may award a diploma to a veteran of the Vietnam era who left high school prior to graduation in order to serve in the armed forces of the United States and did not receive a diploma as a consequence of that. And he was just letting me know that this had passed. I knew it was in process. And he had done something similar, I believe, for the Korean War, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2010 or 2011. So I just wanted just to make folks aware of it here. Nobody has come to us and asked us for that. And I'm going to pass this down if Kathy could just get it out to the rest of the board members so they're aware of it. I appreciate it. I think it's a wonderful thing to do. And but at least publicly announcing it will give people a chance to know that it exists and that we're more than willing to entertain it.
Second one to the adult ed as well.
It should go to the adult ed. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very, very good point. Okay?
Thanks, Kathy.
Okay. That's all I have to say. Okay, moving on to item 13. We have a need to approve the minutes, special meeting minutes, July 4th, 2013, special meeting minutes, June 4th, 1913.
1913?
1930.
It's too hot. It's too hot. It's too hot. We have a need to approve minutes, special meeting minutes, June 4th, 2013, special meeting minutes, June 6th, 2013, and regular meeting minutes, June 11th, 2013. So I'd entertain a motion to
Motion.
approve June 4th.
Motion.
Moved by Vinnie. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Joyce. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
On the June 4th meeting, and I only bring this up because it's in writing, there's a section where it was mentioned that I gave thanks to our representative that is on the Education Committee. In writing, that looks one way. In reality, I thought I said it with a degree of sarcasm. So I'm not really thanking him. I'm thanking him for not doing certain things.
She has to do it literally.
if someone was to read this, it would be like, I'm saying thank you, helping us out.
Insert the word parentheses sarcasm.
Do you want me to take that whole line out?
That would be easy. Yeah, it would be the
That would be the
easiest.
easiest, so I can remove that, wherever that is.
You can't put the other one in. Okay. Anything else, Peter? No. No further discussion? All those by a show of hands? All those in favor by a show of hands? Any opposed? Any abstentions? None. I need a motion for June 6, 2013.
So moved.
Moved by Joyce. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Tom. Any discussion? Sensing none, all those in favor by a show of hands? Any opposed? Any abstentions? It's unanimous. And the last one, regular meeting minutes, June 11, 2013. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Vinnie. Is there a second?
Somebody?
Oh, second. Okay. Any discussion?
I have a clarification I'm
Sure.
going to send Kathy, and I can't find the paragraph now. Now, it was on the roof pitch. I'll send you a clarification.
Send it to me.
Okay?
And I'll
I'll
just
send
put
it
it
to
in.
you.
Tom?
The seed program, is that spelled CEED or SEED? It's S, okay.
CED. Okay. Any other discussion? Sensing none, by a show of hands, all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? One abstention? Okay, moving on. Item 14, my understanding is the meeting was canceled. The Finance Committee meeting was canceled until after till the first of the month?
Right before the July 9th board meeting.
Okay, fine. So we'll move on then to item 15, correspondence and communication. Do we have
I
any?
have no communications.
None at this point. Then moving on to item 16, we have need to go into executive session for
Motion
matters.
to go executive session.
Second.
Okay, it's for matters related to collective bargaining, matters related to confidential student records, and matters related to the superintendent's evaluation and contracts. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No, there is no discussion on that one. Okay, by a show of hands, all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? It's unanimous. We're going down to, we have to go up because the Enfield room is busy until 8:30, correct?
Coming back down?
Coming back.
We won't be coming, we don't need to come back at this point.
Can I make a suggestion, because it's going to be warmer up there?
Yeah, I was thinking,
How about if we just shut everything off and stay here?
can we do that?
You could, I just have to tell them.
You just
Yeah.
have to kick people out. that's
Yeah. It,
You're probably better off.
Let's do that.
really? That's just,
They have air conditioning up there.
they should have air conditioning up there.